Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, I apologise about that, and also if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, if there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2022 related video here on my channel, and another instalment in my sporadic series called What We Know So Far, where I pretty much go through all of the countries involved in an upcoming contest and discuss what we as Eurovision fans know so far. As I'm recording this video, it is mid-February now. We're only a few months away from the 66th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest kicking off in Turin in Italy, of course, and it's full steam ahead. So many countries are having national finals, we've got internal selections happening left, right and centre over the next couple of weeks. By this time next month, I believe that we will know all of the songs, all 41 of them, for the competition in Turin. So there's a lot of stuff happening between now and then, and it's very hard to keep track of what's happening when, and songs coming at us left, right and centre, and national finals, of course. It's quite overwhelming, more so than perhaps in recent years, actually. It certainly feels that way. But before I get into the Eurovision Song Contest, there's two things I want to mention first. As always, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, share this video, whatever it is much appreciated. Leave comments, I'm very interested to know what you think about anything Eurovision 2022 related. And of course, feel free to check out the links in the description to my other social media pages as well. The other thing I want to mention is the American Song Contest, which is happening very soon. There is an article in a British newspaper today, which I'm going to hold up and focus on just a little bit. You can see Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg there. They are hosting the inaugural edition of the American Song Contest. Do let me know what you think about this. There's been quite a negative response online so far about it. People saying that they're not going to watch it because it clashes with Eurovision. Other people saying that it's probably going to be too bombastic and too similar to American Idol. I'm hoping that's not the case, because American Idol really isn't anything like Eurovision. So just to have American Idol 2.0 with this American Song Contest, I just think that's a bit silly myself. But I am intrigued by it. It could be a smash hit. If they do it well, it could be a huge deal. Every state, several territories as well, taking part. It's an opportunity to discover new music. I'm all for it. I don't know if it's going to be broadcast here in Britain or indeed across Europe. I don't know if it's on Netflix or anything. So I don't know how I'm going to watch it. All of the performances, I imagine, will be online anyway. But it says right here, 66 years after Eurovision made its cheesy debut in Switzerland, the US is now getting in on the act. A new competition, not quite as originally named as American Song Contest, will premiere in March, hosted by rapper Snoop Dogg and singer Kelly Clarkson. Now, Kelly Clarkson is obviously a very successful musician. She does have her own show in America as well, so I think she'll be pretty competent. Snoop Dogg, on the other hand, I don't know what that's all about. I imagine that he's, going to be do before presenting, so he'll probably be high as a kite. It says here as well, contestants from all 50 states in the US, Washington DC, and 5 US territories, so I imagine Puerto Rico will be one perhaps, will take part and compete for the chance to win the title Best Original Song. Solo artists and group performers will perform on the 8-week-long program. 8 weeks, which will feature 56 acts in total. There'll be 3 rounds, qualifying, semi-finals and a grand final. Kelly Clarkson seems to know a reasonable amount about Eurovision. She covered Arcade by Duncan Lawrence, which it says here. Critics say the American Song Contest will lack the polyglottal pizzazz which makes Eurovision so special. Of course, all of the songs are going to be in English, which is a bit of a shame. At least I'd assume so. It starts on the 21st of March, and I should say that article was written by Alana Francis. There you go, I'll just hold it up again. That was in today's newspaper here in the UK. Do let me know your thoughts on the American Song Contest, but of course the main focus of this video is Eurovision, the real deal. So, let's go through some information here. There's no point talking about the dates, the venue, the hosts, the logo, the slogan. We know all of that. We haven't had any images of the stage design yet, a mock-up of what it will look like in May. I imagine we'll be getting that very soon. Usually by this time of year, we have a rough idea of how it's going to look in May, but nothing yet. So let's just go through the countries. Of course, we know which semi-final all of the nations are going to be in. We also know which semi-final the automatic finalists will be voting in. So here we go. The first half of semi-final 1, which will take place on Tuesday the 10th of May. There's 18 countries. They'll all vote alongside France and Italy. So Albania, we've known the song for ages. Fic, Festivalia Kenges, took place just after Christmas last year, and you have to say the right choice came out on top. The fan favourite won. It was Ronela Hayati with Secret. The song is going to be in Albanian and English, and Albania are looking to make the Eurovision final for a 4th consecutive contest, I believe it is. I think it's 3 or 4, which is pretty good going. And the song, it's very popular. A lot of people really like it. I think the momentum with it has certainly died down because Fic happened so long ago now. But the revamp is coming very soon, and I'm sure interest will suddenly rise again. Albanian revamps in the past haven't always been brilliant, but I think this one is going to turn out completely fine. And Albania could be on course for a very good result this year. As I said in a previous video, I personally feel as though the quality, certainly from quite a few countries this year, has been fairly disappointing, and it seems as though a lot of the seemingly wrong choices are going to come out on top as well in future national finals. But Albania, I think, got it right, and I think they can feel pretty confident of going through to the final in Turin. In fact, I think they might qualify quite comfortably. We then have Bulgaria, an internal selection. It was the first Eurovision song revealed for the upcoming contest. Intelligent music project with intention. Absolutely nobody is talking about this song. It was announced, people listened to it, and then that was about it. The song is pretty much dead and buried on arrival, which is not something we've said for a long time regarding a Bulgarian Eurovision entry. It's a sort of rock supergroup. Stoyan Yankelov, who's been at Eurovision twice before, is part of this group, and it's a rock number. It's not a really heavy rock song, but it really is lacking that little bit of oomph, that little bit of power, that little bit of memorability to make it really stand out from the field already. A lot of people have this as their number 13 or number 12, really low down in their rankings, and it's in English. It's a completely fine track, but nobody is really that interested in it, it seems. And already I would say Bulgaria is in a spot of bother when it comes to potentially qualifying for the final this year. I don't see it happening. I really don't. Then we have Latvia. Well, what a barrel of laughs this was. Latvia's entry is Eat Your Salad by Chiti Zeni, an all-male group. I watched the performance they gave during the Supernova final a few days ago at the time of recording this video. Was it just me, or were they not completely singing live? I don't know. But anyway, the song is in English. It's talking about how eating your greens is cool and have your veggies, things like that. I suppose it's a pretty good message to have. The song itself, though, you really can't take it seriously. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It is quite silly. Over the years, Latvia has had quite a few songs like this, not necessarily in terms of the sound, but just in terms of having a sort of silly feel to them, I guess. I'm not even sure if silly is the right word. But anyway, they won Supernova last week. They topped the public half of the results with 50,566 votes. Second with the public were Bujans with He, She, You and Me, heavens above. And then Aminata, who was one of the hot favourites as well, she was third with the public, second with the jury, because they also put Eat Your Salad first, which is highly surprising. It seems as though there were only a few jury members, and they thought that song was the best of what has to be said a pretty average batch. That's absolutely remarkable. We're not going to know who was on that jury until after Eurovision itself, it seems here. But yes, that was it. The juries did have Aminata second, and Elina Gluzunova with her Latvian language ballad in third. Last place was Mix Dukers, who only qualified anyway with a sort of wild card. But there we go. Latvia's selection is over. Eat Your Salad is going to Eurovision. Something tells me it might open the first semi-final on the 10th of May. Will it qualify? The public might really get behind this. But they didn't really get behind Cake to Bake in 2014. They didn't get behind Line by Triana Park in 2017, and that was a bit of a fan favourite, and it absolutely flopped. So it's hard to say. The juries, on the other hand, I can't see them dishing out too many points. Then we move on to Lithuania. Well, their national final is also over, and as expected, Monika Liu will be travelling to Turin with her song Sentimental. This, to me, it's a little bit disappointing, but what is wonderful about it is that it's a different sound for the contest. It's a sort of bluesy, slinky, jazzy number. You know, you can just imagine Monica up on stage in some sort of smoky Parisian bar. Well, you wouldn't be smoking, but still. And this song's on in the background and you're just sort of vibing out to it. That's the sort of feel I get with this song. So I can appreciate the sound. But honestly, who's really going to gravitate towards this song? Who's going to vote for it? The juries, yes, I think there will be a fair amount of love from the international juries. But the public, I just think they're going to go for something that's more immediately attention-grabbing. This is a very sort of subtle song, and I think you have to be in the right frame of mind to really enjoy it for what it is. Certainly, I've listened to it about 2 or 3 times now all the way through. I'm pretty bored by it. And I think a lot of other people probably are or will be as well. It's very difficult to say. Lithuania, you know, it seems to me as though they alternate between pretty good songs and pretty bang average songs as well. You know, we had Donny Montel, then we had Fused Mark, then we had Ieva Zasimauskaide, then we had Jurius, and then we had The Roop. And now we've got Monika Liu. It's very sort of up and down. But anyway, she won comfortably the Lithuanian selection last week with 24 points, 23,604 votes from the public, and 84 points from the jury. So she absolutely romped home. Auguste Vedrich-Kaite was second with her rock number Before You're 6 Feet Under. Lolita Zero, there was a lot of attention around that song. You know, performing with the horns on their head. And just this very moody, almost disturbing sort of track. It finished third. Rooterloop would have been an excellent choice for Eurovision, finished fourth, and Queens of Roses were last. Ieva, who was back with I'll Be There, she's tried to represent Lithuania many times, and of course did a few years ago, but every song she's had has pretty much been sort of the same thing, just ever so slightly reworked. She was 7th. But there we go. Monika Liu is going to Eurovision. Very difficult to say how well that song will do, but it's in Lithuanian. That's the first Lithuanian entry in their own language for a very long time. We then have Moldova. Well, we could have seen this coming. Stop Stub are going to Eurovision for a 3rd time. Did very well in 2005. That was Moldova's debut entry. And then again in 2011, really punched above their weight. And Moldova is a country that over the past, well, ever since their debut really, they have a habit every now and then of doing a lot better than people think they will. So I would not rule this song out actually getting quite a lot of love in May. They've teamed up with Frații Advahov, and the song is called Trenuletto, which means train. It's performed in Romanian and English, and the music video is quite fun, and it's a very sort of jaunty, folky, somewhat traditional type entry, which I suppose fits in with what Stop Stub are all about, because their main genres are sort of folk with a little bit of rock thrown in as well. Not a whole lot of love for this one, but I'm telling you, do not rule it out, because Moldova has had some very good staging in the past. Remember Doridos in 2018? That was relatively unfancied, and then the staging came along, simple but very well executed, and ended up getting a lot of points in the final. So I'm not saying we're going to get amazing staging again from Moldova, but I'm sure this performance will really come to life in Turin. Then we have the Netherlands. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a Dutch language entry. The first time the Netherlands will sing in their own language since 2010, I believe. S10 Stien den Hollander is the performer. We're going to be getting the song probably in early March, I would imagine now. I've heard nothing, No idea what the song is going to sound like, but she's a really interesting up-and-coming young performer. She's 21. It says here that her main genres are alternative pop, emo, rap. She's had 2 albums. I've mentioned this in previous videos. And yeah, certainly I'm hoping that we're going to get something quite modern sounding, something really engaging, something very interesting, something with enormous amounts of potential. I am extremely hopeful that the Netherlands are going to bring the quality. Then we have Slovenia. Well, EMA concludes on the 19th of February, so within a few days. Of course, there was that sort of pre-qualification thing going on as well, EMA Fresh. That concluded at the end of January. We've had the 2 semi-finals. In semi-final 1, one of my favourites, Chashye by Borain and Brina, was knocked out, but July Jones, who's a little bit of a favourite, went through. Luma with All In is perhaps the favourite to win now. This is sort of Zalagaspa from 2019 reworked. That's the best way I can put it. It's a very sort of slow, hypnotic track. Guy sort of playing the keyboard or the synthesizer, whatever it is. The girls doing the singing. And this could really be a moment in Turin if it gets that far. There's something very, very beautiful and interesting about it. That's the best way I can describe it. It's definitely one to keep an eye on. And that came through the EMA Fresh competition. From semi-final 2, Mia Gucek with Independiente, out. A lot of people really seem to be enjoying that one, including myself, and it's been knocked out. But we did have Annabelle with Tendency, Be Cool with Mai, that's the 2 young guys, of course, come very close to representing Slovenia in the past. They're bound to probably win the televote, whereas Luma might win the jury vote, I don't know. Other acts in the final include Manouche, David Amaro, Hauptmann, Batista Cadillac. They're going to close proceedings. Annabelle will open them. And the juries will consist of members from OGAE Slovenia, so that's the fan club, songwriters, radio and television personalities, music performers, and international artists. So there you go. I think Luma would be the right choice. July Jones, I don't know whether I really enjoy that song or not. It could become very irritating very quickly, but it was a pretty good live performance. Anybody else? I'm not sure Slovenia are going to make the final this year. So, there we go. Let me know what you think. I am rambling now. Let's get through it. Switzerland, we've heard nothing, but surely within the next week or so, we will start hearing some things come out from Switzerland. Obviously, we've had Luca Hani, did incredibly well. John's Tears, 2 cracking songs from him. And obviously 3rd place in Rotterdam last year. So can Switzerland keep up this hot streak? We wait and see. As for Ukraine, well, there's always controversy with Ukraine, isn't there, unfortunately. Their national final, Vidbir, slightly different format this year, took place last week at the time of recording this video, and Alina Pash came out on top, winning the jury vote, 2nd with the public. We don't know exactly what percentage of the public votes she got, but she's going to represent Ukraine all being well. But there's now this controversy about the voting. The scoreboard broke when they were announcing the results, and Kalush Orchestra, who finished 2nd overall and won the public vote, they were kicking off about it as well. Then there's controversy about Alina. Did she perform in Crimea? Show us your documents. We want proof. Blah, blah, blah. What an absolute load of tosh. I mean, for God's sake, just let her perform. It's Eurovision. Let's have fun, you know? The song is called Tini Zabutik Predkiv, which roughly means, what does it mean? Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors. This is a very stirring, powerful track. I quite like it. I don't love it, but I do quite like it. And you know that if this does go to Eurovision, it's cruising through. That 100% qualification streak will continue. And you know this is going to do very well in the final. Top 10 written all over it as far as I'm concerned. Not as many points as Shum, but still a lot of love for this, I'm sure, particularly from Eastern Europe more so than Western Europe perhaps. Alina's a very good performer, nice vocals, very powerful, passionate performance. Towards the end, A picture of Ukraine appeared behind her, and then she was sort of banging her fists on the stage floor, so you could see how much it meant to her. The lyrics are a sort of potted history of Ukraine as a nation. Very, very powerful stuff. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people at home, and I'm sure if you look up the translation of the lyrics as well, maybe it will resonate with you somewhat as well. But there we go. Alina Pash, who is 28, and she was on Ukraine's 6th season of the X Factor. Moving into the second half of the first semi-final, Armenia, we know nothing, but there is a rumoured name, and I can't remember who it is, but it's a woman, and I saw something earlier about it. It's not Athena Manoukian, which is a bit of a shame, but there we are. It's somebody else, and I think we're going to be getting an announcement very soon. It says here March, but something tells me we'll hear something before then. As for Austria, we know the artist, we know the name of the song, but the song is not being released until next month. It is DJ Lumix, who's a big star. I mean, he's had absolutely tons of streams online. He's had gold and platinum records in not only Austria, but Denmark, France, Germany, Norway, the Netherlands, Italy, Sweden, all over Europe. Not so much in the UK, I think it's fair to say, but he's a big name, a young guy. He's teamed up with a female performer whose name is Pia Maria, not to be confused with Pia Mia, who is a rapper. But there we are. The song is called Halo. Looking forward to it. Of course, it was between him and a male-female duo called Anger, I believe. But he's come out on top, so we wait and see what they're going to bring to the table. Croatia, 19th of February, this weekend for Dora. We know the songs. They have been released. The favourite is probably Mia Negovatic with Forgive Me Oprosti, which sounds like something straight out of a Disney film. It's very, very good. She's tried to represent Croatia many times before. Is this her time? We wait and see. There will be a televote, phone, SMS, and also a jury vote. Another favourite has to be Bernarda. She's tried before to represent Croatia as well. Her song is called Here for Love. To me, that's a pretty bog-standard pop song. I think Mia has more going for her with her entry. We've also got, who else? Toma, Within the Darkness. That sounds pretty promising. And also Marko Bošnjak with Moli za nas, which is this really nice Croatian ballad. That would be a very worthy representative as well. He's actually from Bosnia. So there you go. And he won the second season of a Serbian talent show. So he's a pretty recognisable name, I would assume, in the Balkans. So points, 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 you know what I'm saying. But yes, that's what we know about Croatia. Mia Negovatic is my personal choice. Then we have Denmark. We know the songs. DMGP's on the 5th of March. It's going to take place in Herning. There's 8 tracks. They're all much of a muchness. There is one that really does stand out. By Full Defect, which is this sort of throbbing, clubby anthem. I don't think that's the right choice. It seems as though Confessions with Hallelujah, a lot of people are ranking that as their number one. It's my personal favourite as well. And it's a group, 2 girls and a guy, I think it is. Could be more. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty safe pop song. Nothing truly remarkable. But might do better at Eurovision than we think it would. Remember Leonora a few years ago, Love Is Forever? It won't qualify. No, I don't see it qualifying. Not far away from the top 10 in the final. So Denmark, a bit like Moldova, seems to punch above its weight, perhaps. Other acts include Juncker, Patrick Dorgan, Reddy, Josie Eleanor and Jack Warren, Let Me Go. My God, that's just the sort of thing that the Danes will go mad for. Yeah, it's an okay batch of songs, but nothing truly extraordinary. I should say that Hallelujah by Confessions has been co-written by an English musician, Rachel Ferner. So there you go. Moving on, Greece. Quality's coming. Amanda Tenfjord, born in Greece, but spent most of her life, it seems, in Norway. And Norway can vote for Greece, of course. Hello. She's 25. The song was leaked the other day, or at least a demo version was leaked. I didn't listen to it. I don't even know what the name of the song is called. I'm waiting for the official, legitimate version to come our way. And what I've heard from her is a lot of good stuff. I think she's got a lovely voice. I think it's going to be a ballad myself. I know that she was filming the music video on a boat in Crete, was it? Or Rhodes, some Greek island. Previous songs of hers include Let Me Think, The Floor Is Lava, Man of Iron, Miss the Way You Missed Me, 2 EPs so far. Surely an album is on its way. Really looking forward to Greece. Do not rule them out this year. Then we have Iceland. We know the songs involved in Songkeppnin, 12th of March, so one of the last countries to select its entry. 2 semi-finals. The songs include Katla with Thauthan Af, or Then Again. That's got to be the favourite here. That could do really well at Eurovision. Of course, it's no Think About Things or 10 Years. It's no Hatrith Munsikura. But this is a really great song. Great young performer. And it's quite stirring, powerful stuff. It's got this sort of soaring feel to it. Really tremendous stuff. We've also got Oscar winner Marketa Erglova with Possible. That's quite a stripped back entry. Maybe it leaves you feeling cold. There's not much to it, but it's quite nice. We also have Daughters of Reykjavik with Turn This Around. That's quite a catchy up-tempo number, but I would be surprised if it came out on top. And we also have a sort of folky entry by Siga, Beta and Elin, and it seems as though there is no English language version of that song. But there we are. Obviously there's others. There's Volcano by Haffy Haff, and surely Iceland won't be gravitating towards that one. But there we are. Let me know what you think about the Songkeppnin lineup. Katla all the way, Team Iceland, here we go. Moving on. Norway, aha! 19th of February for the final of MGP. Now, I did see a tweet somebody put online the other day saying something how if an automatic finalist wins MGP, doesn't that mean that the whole batch of semi-finals we've had were a complete waste of time? Maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. But of course, MGP concludes very soon. We've had 4 semi-finals and 2 last chance rounds. We do know the running order for the grand final as well. I'll just briefly go through all of them. Why not? Hammer of Thor, got to make the top 4 as far as I'm concerned. Very powerful, staged well. Vocals, not too bad. Really interesting stuff. Then we have North Kid, Someone. Don't rule this out making the top 4 as well. Annalisa Kumoji, Queen Bees. Pretty good, but nothing truly incredible. Farida with Dangerous. Yeah, this is a fine ballad, but I'm not sure anybody's really going to go big for it. Sophie Fjellvang, that's the song co-written by Kjetil Mørland, one half of the 2015 representatives for Norway. It's a good song, but I think she was very nervous when she performed the other week, so that might cost her. Frode Vassal with Black Flowers, that's a bit of a rock number, staged well, but again, there's better songs here. Christian Ingebrigtsen, Wonder of the World, cheesy ballad, no chance, surely no chance. Maria Moan won the second chance round with Fly. It's a decent track, but again, there's more immediate entries here. Subwoofer are probably going to win this by a mile and may win the televote in Turin. It's a possibility. Give that wolf a banana. I listened to some of it again earlier. I like it more than Eat Your Salad, let's put it that way. But I still don't really get the hype for this. I still don't know whether it's because nobody knows who they really are. I think it's Ylvis myself. I don't know if it's because people genuinely think this song is amazing. I don't know. I mean, at Eurovision, I cannot see the juries loving this in big numbers, but the public surely will. So it's a sort of, you know, what do you go for here? Do you go for a song that the juries will love, or do you go for a song that the public will love even more? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying here. I've completely lost the plot. The last song is Elsie Bay with Death of Us. And it's been so long since this was performed live, and a lot of people thought that it was staged in a very sort of uninteresting manner, but I don't really know how you could have staged this a better way, to be honest with you. It's a great song. People were saying this was Eurovision winning material not so long ago, and now the momentum has totally shifted. So we wait and see what happens. It is a pure public vote. So there you go. I think so, anyway. Moving on, Portugal. Well, Festival de Canção starts soon. 12th of March for the final. Some really good songs here. Aureia, who is a huge name in Portugal, has to be the odds-on favourite here with Why. Great ballad, great vocals. Put your money on that, perhaps. We also have Degradé by Pongo and Tristani, which is this sort of Afrobeat number. Very interesting. Would be a very original sound for Eurovision. Keep your eyes on that as well. Also, Calisun by the Mr. Driver, which seems like the most contemporary-sounding Festival de Canção track in years. We have Pepperoni Passion. I don't think they're going to win. But we also have Sairo with Ainda Nos Temos, which is a really beautiful ballad, and again, absolutely one that should be pushing for the win. Then we have Russia. We Know Nothing. And to be honest, I think they're a bit busy with other things myself at the moment. Moving on to the second semi-final, which will be on Thursday, the 12th of May. 18 countries, again, they'll all vote alongside Germany, Spain and the UK. Australia, well, I think Australia are bringing a fair bit of quality for their national final. 26th of February for Eurovision Australia decides. A lot of the songs are already out. Isaiah, the 2017 representative, is back with Evie Eerie. That song not getting much attention though, so I think he's out. Jaguar Jones, a lot of people were very excited to see her name involved. The song is out, Little Fires. It's fine, but nobody's really saying it's going to win. So I think it's probably out as well. Sheldon Riley, his song was released yesterday, I think it was. Not the Same. Certainly a contender, sounds very promising. Dreamer by Voyager, a bit of a rock song. Quite like it. Certainly could push for the win as well. And then we have I Suck at Being Lonely by Charlie, which is a little bit Tears Getting Sober by Victoria. No bad thing, because that was the favourite to win Eurovision before the pandemic came along. Yeah, I'm interested to see if that really gets a lot of love. I think that would do well with young voters, but maybe not older voters. But there we are. Still some more songs to go, but on the whole, not bad from Australia. Definitely likely to make the final this year compared to last year. Then we have Azerbaijan, We Know Nothing. Cyprus, we still know nothing. There's been a few rumoured names. I believe the songwriting team is the same songwriting team that we've had for the past few years, so expect another song in the mould of Replay, Fuego, that sort of thing. Finland, we know the songs, we've known them for ages. UMK takes place on February the 26th. It's going to be very, very interesting. All of the songs are top quality as far as I'm concerned. Tommy Lantonen is maybe the rank outsider, but you've got a really lovely track, Sun Numero by Young Hearted, might do better than we're all expecting. The Rasmus, one of the biggest bands ever from Finland with Jezebel, might crush the opposition, it's certainly possible. Cyan Kicks with Hurricane, still my personal favourite here, I think it's a terrific rock song. And then you have Ram Pam Pam by Bess, which I know out of all of these tracks is the one that's been streamed the most in Finland, I think. So that could be a sign that she's on course to win. We wait and see. But Finland, I feel pretty confident about their chances of doing well in the final again this year. Georgia, Circus Marcus. What will they bring to the table? We wait and see. But of course, Georgia haven't qualified in years. Can they turn it around? Israel, Michael Ben-David with I Am is going to Turin. He won the X Factor Israel. Little bit surprisingly, it has to be said, because you had Inbal Bibi with Marionette. That would have been the better choice in my personal opinion. I think that would have been most Eurovision fans' preferred choice as well. But she finished third. Ellie Hooley with Blinded Dreamers was second, 1 point behind Michael Ben-David. The song is pretty camp, let's be honest. It's quite a flamboyant performance. He does sell it well, but the song needs a bit of a revamp, because at the moment I think most people are indifferent towards it, including myself. But you never know, that might really get the crowd up on their feet in Turin in May, might do better than we're all expecting. Malta, no X Factor Malta this year, just a national final. The semi-finals on February the 17th, so in a few days, and then the finals on the February the 19th. Who's going to win? It's hard to say. Aiden is going to open it, apparently, with Ritmu, which is a Maltese language entry. I'd love to hear Maltese at Eurovision again. I think he's certainly one to beat, but you've also got Emma Muscat, the biggest name here with Out of Sight, had some success in Italy as well. Her song is pretty good. I could see that doing fairly well at Eurovision, to be honest. But everything else all sort of blends into one. Will Malta make the final? It's hard to say. If Aiden goes, if Emma Muscat goes, maybe if Richard Edwards goes, they're in with a chance. We know that Malta tend to do much better with the juries than the public. We wait and see. It's as simple as that. San Marino, Una Voce per San Marino is their national final. I mean, it's so convoluted. I haven't really been following it at all. Elis Mraz, who was involved in the Czech selection, is involved. We've also got a San Remo winner in Valerio Scanu. We've got Achille Lauro, who was in this year's San Remo a few weeks ago. Miodio, the debutants for San Marino, they're involved as well. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting, but I just think it's a really lengthy, drawn-out method, and I don't really see the point of it. But there we are. Maybe some quality will come from it. Serbia, we know the songs. Another mammoth national final. Pesma za Eurovision. The finals on March the 5th. It seems as though Zorya, with Zorya, is perhaps the favourite, but you've also got 2014 North Macedonian representative Tiana Dapčević, Sarah Jo, Muskarčina. That sounds pretty interesting. We've also got, what else have we got here? Gramofonecie. That seems like quite an interesting song. Uterpa with Nedostaješ. I think when I reacted to snippets of the songs some time ago, that was one that stood out to me. Dusan Svilar's been involved a bunch of times. He's there as well. 2 semi-finals, 18 songs each. There we go. Then we move into the second half. Belgium, Jeremy Makis was announced months ago. His song is coming soon. I think he teased it on Instagram, something like that the other day. I didn't really hear anything, but I'm hoping for quality. It's as simple as that. And then we have the Czech Republic. We Are Domi with Lights Off. Very good song. Going to stand out at Eurovision. I can see it now. Swirling lights everywhere. Great atmosphere. Everybody dancing. It's good stuff. Estonia. Stefan won with Hope. Finally getting the chance to represent his country. Obviously, we had quarterfinals, which started in November. Semi-finals, and then the final was last week. We do know the exact results of the quarterfinals now. Interestingly, in quarterfinal 1, Shargup Twisk was 9th out of 10 songs with the public. He only went through because of the jury, who had him first. Mayan, a fan favourite as well, nowhere with the public, but the second favourite with the juries. So the juries really did save 2 pretty decent songs there. Boa Madu won the first quarterfinal looking at this. Quarterfinal 2, Jai Rise and Kaya Lisa Kessler were the bottom 2 with the public, but the top 2 with the jury. Remarkable. Quarterfinal 3, Stefan won it. Marilyn won the jury vote. Fantastic, even though she didn't perform live. So that says a lot. And then quarterfinal 4, Black Velvet won the public vote, which is very surprising. Minimal Wind, featuring Elizabeth Tiffany, much further down. But of course, they were the runners-up behind Stefan at the weekend. I always had a feeling they were going to do well with the juries, but not so much the public. But that song just came upon the rails. It's a really lovely track, and we shouldn't really be too surprised that they finished second, because a few years ago, Annette and Freddie with Ride About Me, a very similar sounding track, was also the runner-up in Estilal, so we should perhaps have seen it coming. But yes, Stefan won quite comfortably. It's this sort of western pop number. He was alone on stage, but at one point 2 guys dressed as cowboys appeared. Didn't really add anything to the performance. I think they should probably scrap that, but there needs to be something else happening on stage. It's a really good song. I can see you doing very well in Turin. Elisa was 3rd with Fire. Oit Lepland didn't do very well, to be honest. Elena Nechayeva was nowhere. And Stig Rasta, 9th out of 10 songs. Really quite surprising. But there we are. Now, did I just make an absolute mistake here? No, I don't think so. Sorry, I was getting a bit confused by the way they put the points here. Anyway, moving on to Ireland. Brooke with That's Rich. That won Eurosong on February the 4th. She got 4 points. That's it from the studio jury. The maximum 12 from the Irish televote and international jury, which I think matters more. Miles Graham was 2nd, Janet Grogan was 3rd. This is a great pop song. Could be staged very well. I didn't really like her performance on the night. She was in sort of pyjamas, so were her backing singers / dancers. Don't really get that vibe. That needs to change. But this is a sort of sticking it to the man sort of song, if you see what I mean. It's very good, it's very catchy, I like it, absolutely. But I'm not sure Ireland are going to qualify again this year. Montenegro, Vladana is the singer. Breathe is going to be a ballad, I believe. We're going to be getting it very soon. Could be very good, we wait and see. North Macedonia, a lot of people not really talking about this one, but I think it's a pretty good song. Andrea Koevska will sing Circles. She came out on top of a pretty small national final Zaevro song. 2nd was Viktor Apostolovsky with Superman. Thank heavens that's not going to Eurovision. If it had been the public having the final say, then he would have gone to Eurovision. But the juries had the power, so Andrea goes instead. And just taking a look here, there was an international jury vote. Israel didn't think much of it, but Malta, Georgia and Armenia had Andrea first. I think it's pretty good. It does sort of run out of steam though, but again, stage it well, you could be onto something pretty special. Poland are in it to win it. Fair play. A very lengthy titled national final. The national final takes place on February the 19th. Lydia Kopania, the 2009 representative, is here, but she's not winning. It has to be between Paranoia by Daria, which is quite a catchy, bouncy number, very contemporary, and Christian Ochman with River. That song has Jury Darling written all over it as far as I'm concerned, and we know Poland, they have a diaspora vote, but even without that diaspora vote, that sort of song is still going to get a lot of points. I think he won Poland's version of The Voice not so long ago, I could be wrong, but it's a really nice track, and he has to be the one to beat here. Poland onto something special this year. Maybe they're going to be as good as they are at Junior Eurovision. Who knows? Romania, 5th of March for their national final, Selecția Națională, and yeah, nothing like Roxanne here, let's be quite honest. Taking a look at the first semi-final, the fan favourite Malere by Iana did go through, comfortably winning the public results. But then, because semi-final 2 was a pure jury vote, they were knocked out, which I'm sure pleases many. Do Svidania, my personal favourite, and I know the favourite for a lot of other people as well, also out. So that leaves 10 songs, I believe it is. There is a jury vote and a public vote. I've no idea who the favourite to win is now. We've got Cream, Minadora and Diana Bushka with Romania Mea. I think Dora Gaetanovici with Anna is probably going to do it. It's quite a powerful song, and she was second with the public in that first semi-final, so maybe it's hers to lose. Chamame by WRS, not a bad song as well, but I didn't think he performed it incredibly well live during that first semi-final, whatever it was. Gabriel Basco could do well with the juries if he goes to Eurovision. That song's called One Night, but honestly, it's not the most amazing grand final lineup. And then Sweden. Well, I've been making videos about Melfest. We've had 2 shows so far, all fairly predictable last week, but I'll talk about that in a future video. Liamu and John Lundvik going through. I actually thought it was a pretty decent semi-final, to be honest with you. Semi-final 1, Cornelia Jacobs, fantastic, absolutely wonderful. And Robin Bengtsson went through as well. Semi-final 3 is this weekend. We've got Anders Bagger, Bigger Than the Universe. Keep an eye on that one. He's quite a well-known name. And also the returning Lisa Miskovsky, who was in Melfest years ago with Why Start a Fire. She's involved too. So that's Melfest, not much else to say. Sweden will do well this year, I'm sure of it. As for the automatic qualifiers, France, we're getting the songs very soon. There'll be a video from me reacting to snippets of them all being well. Will anything be as good as Voila or even better? We don't know, but the 5th of March for the final. Germany, lots of controversy surrounding their national final. No Eskimo Cool Boy. I think German Eurovision fans are utterly dismayed by this. Will they finish near the bottom again? Who knows? I mean, I don't think it's a bad lineup, but there's nothing incredible. I like Soap by Emily Roberts, but I don't think that's winning. Felice Chalou with Anxiety seems to be most Eurovision fans' preferred choice here. We've got a song in German with so many songwriters, it's ridiculous. We have Rock Stars by Malik Harris, which is a little bit like Arcade, in my opinion. It's not bad, it's not amazing, it's fine. And that really just sums up this national final. It's a whole lot of okay, not a whole lot of, oh my god, absolutely sensational stuff. Let me know what you think, particularly if you're German. Then we have Italy. They're coming for the win. I don't need to talk much about this. Mahmoud and Blanco with Brividi. It's doing well in charts all over the world, and it's the favourite for a reason. I don't love it, but I do really like it, and you just know the points are going to pour in from all corners for this one. The juries will love this more than they did for Zitie Buoni, as far as I'm concerned, and you know that Italy gets tons of points from the public every year anyway, pretty much, so this is on course for a top 3 finish at the very least on home soil. Italy, not messing about, no crap from them, they know what they're doing, and that's why they're contenders for the win yet again. As for Spain, well, I'm really hoping Chanel does well with Slow Mo. It's a great pop song, sexy, feisty, great vocals, swaying about on stage. It's really good stuff. But of course, controversy again, because she was absolutely trounced in the public half of the results. Tanchugueiras came out on top by an absolute mile, even thrashing Rigoberta Bandini, who I thought was probably going to win this at one stage. She was the runner-up in the end. But Chanel, I think it's the right choice. It feels quite modern, it feels typically Spanish in a way, And whilst Terra by Tanchugueiras would have shown off a few more languages and would have been something very different for the Spanish at Eurovision this year, I don't know. Chanel, it's a great song. A lot of people really enjoying it. And I think at Eurovision, if the already good choreography has just elevated that bit more, excuse me, I don't see any reason why she couldn't do well and get Spain's best result for a long time. As for the UK, we've heard nothing. TAP management, who are behind this year's act with the BBC, they've said a couple of weeks ago that established names as well as newcomers have shown interest. I assume the song is already there, we're just waiting for the release of it, but I'm telling you now, if it is yet again something very safe, very plain, I won't be happy, other British Eurovision fans won't be happy, and yeah, there'll be a lot of rage, let's put it that way. Well, I've had enough. My voice is aching. These videos are always a bit messy, and I apologise for that. There's not much else to say, but there'll be more blog posts, more videos, all being well, over the next few weeks. So keep an eye on my channel, keep an eye on my blog if you so wish. It is much appreciated. Thank you to all of the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who leaves comments. Let me know what you think about anything to do with this Eurovision season, and indeed the American Song Contest as well, and the failed Asian Song Contest that we were supposed to be getting years ago as well. Until next time, hopefully the quality wasn't too bad. Let me know your thoughts. Much appreciated. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and roll on more of this Eurovision season. Will the quality improve? I'm somewhat hopeful, more so than I was the other day. Until next time, bye for now.